Right, the people wanted to change everything.
And they wanted, they demanded, they love you, they love what you
Well,
do.
you know, I'm not your supporter.
I want them to do, you know, homegrown criminals next.
Yeah.
I said, homegrowns are next. The homegrowns, built, you gotta build about 5 more places.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right? It's not big enough.
No, yeah.
Come on. So this is a much different office than you're.
Did you guys just hear that? I know it's hard to hear because that's a hot mic moment where Donald Trump was caught speaking to El Salvador's President Bukele about sending American citizens to El Salvador and to prisons in El Salvador. He says he wants the president of El Salvador to build 5 more prisons so that Trump can deport what he calls homegrowns. This is some truly fascist stuff right here. Donald Trump is no longer just deporting illegal immigrants to these essentially concentration camps that they're building in other countries. He now wants to deport American citizens that are criminals because it's too expensive to put them here, it's cheaper to put them in other countries, and there's less regulations as to what happens to these criminals. Now, MAGA Trump supporters will defend Trump no matter what because they are deep in this cult of delusion. They have drank in all the Kool-Aid and they will believe Trump until the very end. They'll tell you this is a good thing. They're deporting criminals too. They're going to get the criminals out of this country. And what difference does it make if they're in a prison here or in a prison in El Salvador? If they've committed bad crimes, they should get out of here. Well, this is another step in Donald Trump's pathway to turning our country from a democracy into a full-blown authoritarian fascist state. Because what happens when the MAGA Trump regime tells you that anybody who goes against their platform is a criminal? They're already going after people who disagree with them politically, saying that these people are thugs, criminals, they're part of the enemy from within. We've heard Trump talk about that constantly. And don't be gaslit by the MAGA media for a second into thinking that Donald Trump was just joking here. He is never joking about stuff he intends to do. He's telling you with his own words over and over again. He said during this meeting that he wants to help fund these El Salvador prisons for American citizens using your taxpayer dollars. Instead of making groceries cheaper, instead of making housing more affordable, we're going to be spending our taxes to build prisons in El Salvador for American citizens. Donald Trump said, quote, "I'd do something, we'd help them out," referring to the El Salvador prisons. They're great facilities, very strong facilities, and they don't play games. No wonder Donald Trump wants to deport his enemies to a place where they don't play games. That's not all. Trump escalated the conversation. He said, quote, "We should go a step further. I said to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are absolute monsters." Okay, again, MAGA's going to say, yeah, they're just deporting the monsters to El Salvador. These are monsters we're dealing with. But what happens when Donald Trump tells you that Nancy Pelosi is a monster, or Adam Schiff is a monster, or Hillary Clinton is a monster? Maybe he wants you to believe that Joe Biden is a monster. Maybe he wants you to believe that I'm a monster because I'm calling out their bullshit like it is. Am I going to be deported to an El Salvador prison? I would rather die fighting in this country than end up in an El Salvador prison, because this is not what America is all about. Guys, thanks so much for checking out my channel. Please like the video, leave a comment to let me know what you think about all this, and subscribe for free. I'll be posting every single week. This is where I dive into longer content than what you're used to on my TikTok and Instagram. Appreciate your support, and God bless America.